All right, what's going on, guys? Hope you're all having a great day. So we're going to be talking about some pretty big stuff for Halo Infinite in regards to not only Season 2, but also some updates before that even comes around. And we have a lot to unpack. It's going to be a pretty concentrated video today, and if you're wanting to stay up to date with what's happening in the game, then this is going to be the place to be. We're going to be talking about a lot of stuff 343 right now is working on to get added to Infinite, a lot of leaks and information for Season 2 when that rolls around, and plenty of other stuff that we can look forward to being implemented in the game. And I think you guys are going to find this pretty enjoyable today. Recently, 343 has been pretty active, I would say, in terms of especially Twitter and interacting with the community and sort of conveying what they're doing with Season 2 and why wait between Season 1 and 2 is going to be significantly longer than all of the seasons that will be coming up later this year and all of the things that they're getting in place for these to happen smoothly. Also, I'm going to be giving away 1,000 Halo Infinite credits, so if you guys are interested in winning this, make sure to drop a like on the video. If you're new to the channel, make sure you are subscribed as well, and let me know in the comment section what game mode you would like to see return to Infinite. Just wanted to show how thankful I was for the support on the channel recently. I appreciate you guys very much, and so before we get started, I do want to thank today's sponsor of the video. Ace Defender is a great SRPG masterpiece that seamlessly blends RPG turn-based battle with tower defense gameplay, all that in a package with stunning visuals as well. Currently, the game features almost 2,000 different levels and 48 unique heroes, all with their own backgrounds and lore and stories to discover within them. You're able to combine heroes and equip gear for them to upgrade them and create the most powerful lineup you can possibly imagine. There's both PvE play and PvP with different pacings for a faster or slower style of gameplay. There is also a brand new hero, Brenda, who uses the Demon Spear in battle that you can go and try out for yourself. Alongside that, there's also a brand new feature called Realm of Deities that is essentially your own city that you can develop, you can upgrade it, and get rewards in. All newcomers to the game will get 10 Royal Recruit tickets after completing levels 2 through 8, which will allow you to pull heroes differently and use them in battle. All this and more by using the link in the description and checking out the game for yourself, so make sure to go and do that. But thank you very much to Ace Defender for sponsoring today's video. So obviously, Halo Infinite launched with 10 total maps, and since the actual launch of the game, and then up to where we are right now, kind of getting near the end of Season 1, we haven't had any brand new maps released at all. Now, according to some information that's been going around and some leaks that have come out, there are a total of 5 new maps that we know of at the moment that are either being worked on, they're being developed, and they will somehow probably be implemented into the game, either at Season 2 or sometime around then. Now, what are these maps? Luckily, we have images of these, and we don't know how much these are accurately going to represent the final product. It's really hard to tell because they look like, you know, extreme alpha builds. So I'll go and put these up on screen. So obviously, as you can tell, these are very early builds of what potentially do look like real Halo Infinite maps. Obviously, like the polygons are there and stuff, but like structurally, it's all in place, but it's not textured or anything, or doesn't even look like a finished product. So we don't know how old these images are necessarily, and we also don't know what the final name is going to be. So we have some, I guess, prototype names, and I'll go ahead and put these up on screen as well. Evidently, some of these maps are going to be called Bath Salts, Cataract, Forbidden, Beltway, and Solitude. At this point, we don't know if these maps are designed for any modes in particular, whether they're just going to be like standard, you know, regular MP maps, or if maybe one of these is like a free-for-all specific map, or hell, even a big team battle map. We actually don't know at this point, but these I would suspect are going to undergo obviously a lot of visual changes, but they could also be called something different when they do get added to the game. I will say though, there has been some debate about the validity of these maps and, you know, the accuracy that's represented by these photos, but I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see. Obviously, there are new maps being worked on, and how accurate these are is certainly up for at least a little bit of a debate, but this is the best we have to work with right now. They do look fairly interesting, I will say. But next up, let's talk about probably the biggest change ever for Halo Infinite's progression system. Obviously, this has arguably been the most controversial feature about Infinite since its launch, and 343 has been talking about it on Twitter. A lot of the changes they're going to be making when Season 2 rolls around, you will now be able to actually earn credits through the Battle Pass, and this is something that if you play other games like COD, they definitely do this. As you have the Battle Pass, every so often you're going to get a small amount of the in-game currency, because right now in Infinite, the only way to obtain this in-game currency is, of course, to purchase it with real money, but that's going to be changing where you can actually earn some of these. I don't expect the amount to be terribly large, if I'm going to be honest with you. At the end of the day, you're probably still going to have to pay some degree of real money to get all of the things you want, but maybe picking picking up small amounts of credits here and there can get you like some of these smaller or cheaper items in the shop. It is a good change, I will say, because at least to a degree, this is what the community's been asking for, and they did listen. So we'll have to see the implementation of this when Season 2 rolls around. Hopefully, the credit system feels rewarding and it feels fair without completely breaking the entire Battle Pass. We're not really sure if like general Battle Pass progression speed is going to change at all with this update, but that's going to be something that I feel like 343 are going to be fine-tuning once it gets implemented. But just so you know, this is coming. And speaking of things we know are coming, the addition of some new game modes and also fan favorites from previous Halos should be making their way either even before Season 2 or at some point right when it launches. And a lot of these include, right now, people are speculating Domination to return, possibly even Griffball at some point, and then Infected, which, if you watched some of my previous videos, we already have assets in the game and badges and medals that suggest Infected already exist, along with some code for Domination as well. So I would expect to see these pretty soon. There are a ton of classic Halo modes that the community has been literally begging for, and I do understand 343's stance on this to some degree. Like, they want to make sure that the modes that they have currently implemented are optimized and working as well as possible before they add anything too new or too crazy. So I do understand the kind of slow drip content when it comes to playlists and stuff, because you kind of have to get that right to make the whole experience work, but hopefully we will see these implemented in the relatively near future. Also, I don't know if you guys saw this, but 343 put out another statement on Twitter, and this is a really big document, so I'm just going to sort of condense down the points of this. Basically, some of the big takeaways from this document is that Big Team Battle is finally getting fixed, kind of. Like, on February 3rd, we should be getting some hotfix that will repair most of the issues that the playlist has been having. We don't know the specifics on how this is going to work or affect the game, but we're going to have to wait for a few days to really tell. Also, some shop progression updates where, you know how you can only buy entire bundles? Like, you have to get every single item within a bundle, even if you just want one specific piece or little, you know, one individual item of armor or whatever it is. You can't do that without buying the whole bundle, but they're looking into making that a possibility in Season 2, where you can just buy individual items out of a bundle instead of the entire package, which is a really sweet deal in my opinion, and if implemented right, especially with the new credit system in Infinite, that would go great. And then, interestingly enough, Behemoth Capture the Flag has been removed from the ranked rotation playlist after a lot of community feedback, and I would say a lot of Twitter complaining as well. I've been seeing a ton of that. They've completely removed that sort of combination of maps and modes straight out of ranked. Obviously, you can still play that in just like regular quick play or whatever it is, but when it comes to the ranked experience, this is no longer available. We don't know if they're going to rework it or just basically keep it out entirely in response to something else. Who knows? But it has been removed of the time me recording this. Pretty interesting stuff there. I'm not sure if everyone agrees with that change, especially, you know, I feel like a lot of people are going to be as divided about that as they are with the Mangler getting nerfed and then potentially some other weapon rebalances. Again, we don't have more information on this, unfortunately, besides the Mangler nerf. We want to know what they're doing with the other weapons, but some of them are going to be getting changed besides that one, and I would expect a lot of those to roll around Season 2. Now, in some really good news, though, we are getting new guns at some point during Season 2, and as far as we can tell right now, there is a Covenant Carbine model in the game. Again, we spoke about this, and I even showed you guys kind of a concept of what it looks like. It's in the game. It doesn't have any first-person animations at the moment, but I think that will change shortly after. I don't expect us to get like a ton of different guns added to the sandbox of Infinite. I think they're going to do it slowly but methodically, and I really do think the Covenant Carbine will probably be the first, let's say, newcomer to the sandbox since Infinite's launch. But there are other weapons in the game, like either the classic Halo shotgun, maybe the Brute Shot, or even the SMGs that people have been asking for, and we'll see if they actually implement those or not, or just brand new guns as well that we haven't even thought of yet. But I think the sandbox is going to be updated very carefully. I feel like that's going to be 343's strategy. And just real quick to refresh everyone, I want to show you guys a few cosmetics that are going to be rolling around Season 2. You've got some really interesting visors. You got the low tier God visor. There's also some interesting armor coatings that I think were supposed to be tied to the Battle Pass, but I think they've been separated to some extent and now are going to be probably within the shop when that comes around. As I'm sure most of you are aware, also co-op campaign is coming in Season 2, but interestingly, we haven't talked about this, and this is an entirely different rabbit hole, but a lot of people have been speculating that the possibility of some kind of campaign DLC. Now, we don't know much about this, unfortunately. If anything, I feel like if Infinite were to get any campaign DLC at all, it's gonna be probably in the latter half of the year. In fact, it just wouldn't make sense to drop additional additional campaign DLC if the co-op mode of it isn't even functional yet, which again will be functional in May. So it's probably not going to be, if at all, in the latter half of the year. So we'll have to wait and see on that. But it's an interesting concept, and we may talk about it if there's any information that sort of comes out about it. Now, last thing I want to go over is the increasing evidence that's been coming around of a battle royale mode. Now, a lot of the community have been running with the idea that the attrition mode that just got added recently with the past few events in Infinite, basically it's just team deathmatch, but your team has limited lives. And a lot of the framework for this can suggest that a lot of these elements would work in a battle royale, or maybe they have been rearranged from battle royale for this mode. Either way though, it does suggest even more despite all the evidence we currently have about a battle royale at some point. This just makes that sort of possibility even stronger, which in my opinion is very exciting. It's not only just the concept of elimination rounds basically in the attrition mode that suggests BR, but also just the badges and medals that we have and other information that's been floating around about the game. Again, it's really hard to gather intel on this particular subject, but I think the clues and the hints are to some degree kind of falling into place, and we're gonna have to wait and see. Again, it's sort of like the campaign DLC situation where battle royale I actually don't expect, if at all, to happen until late this year, I would say. It would be very exciting nonetheless though, and I will update you guys about anything else that happens in that vein. So regardless, I hope you guys enjoyed the video today. If you did, be sure to leave a like rating and make sure you are subscribed to the channel before you go. And I also do stream over on Twitch. If you don't follow me, link to that can be found in the description. But other than that, hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you all in the next one. Take it easy. I'm gonna go, and peace out.